them.
Fun ain't cheap.
Fun ain't cheap. It's
Oh,
still cheap.
let's open with that.
Fucking go into
Such a good saying.
fun ain't cheap.
That's my new old guy saying.
It's a good one. Okay, are we doing this?
Yeah, I'm setting it up right now for the live stream. Join Dale and Derek.
I don't know if I'm gonna go the distance tonight.
Woo! I thought I was about to tap out like an hour and a half ago. I was falling asleep. And then I had one coffee, and late night coffee hits different.
It does.
I think I like it a lot more.
I'm just getting fucking wrecked by allergies today.
I should fucking irresponsibly drink coffee late just because it's so good.
Yeah, fuck sleep. That shit's for the weak.
I heard,
Sleep
I
ain't
read,
cheap.
fun ain't cheap. I saw online somewhere somebody was saying that the reason people stay up late when they have to work the next day is it's because it's like at night it's your me time where nobody can really tell you what to do, so
100%.
you don't want to give it up and
100%.
go to I want to be told what to do time, which is work time
or outside of work time, which like wife time.
Did you just say white time?
No, wife time. It's always white time. wife time. It's like
wife time.
That's why like Kate will go to bed at like, I don't know, like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. And then I'm like, oh, it's me and my Xbox for the next 3 hours uninterrupted.
And, anybody out there, if you're going to get any wide ideas about not getting married as a loophole, it doesn't work because I'm not married and it's the exact same thing.
Exact same thing.
Like my girlfriend goes to bed and it's exactly like Derek. I'm like, I'm going to just fucking stay up late and not go to work because I love doing the stuff I don't. Yeah.
Doing the stuff I want to do. Yeah, I think the solution there is just don't move in with your significant other ever.
But on the other hand, it gets so lonely. Like she'll leave for a week and I'll be like, all right. And then like 3 days later, I'm like, I'm kind of bored.
It doesn't get lonely because you want to know why it doesn't get lonely?
Why?
Because I'm fucking my Xbox. That's why.
I hope it just cut out. It was like, I'm fucking my Xbox, but I hope it just cut out and I'm fucking my X.
My Xbox. Hey, internet, welcome to episode. Oh, wait, you do your thing.
My X's box. Hi, internet.
Hey, internet. Welcome to episode 206 of Outrage Factory, the podcast where we look at the things that made people mad online this week, explain why they're dumb for caring. I'm your co-host, Derek Boland.
I'm your other co-host, Dale DeRuiter. And I think, I was just about to say I figured out my ring light, but as soon as I like lifted up my eyebrows, it like just got really bright. But anyways, I had adjust for low light on, and then it was just fucking turning everything blue. And I also think that the shirt I was wearing last week was shiny, so it couldn't get a real good read. So now I put on a black shirt on purpose. Not because I want to look like Steve Jobs or because I want to look like a floating head, but well, actually, I kind of like looking like a floating head.
You do.
It makes me look like I have authority.
We're on the second consecutive week of Dale just denying he is the pinkest man alive, where he's just like, it's like, what is it? It's the light? Is it reality? Is it my shirt? No, Dale, it's your fucking, it's your beautiful beaming pink face.
Yeah, I like how last week we were talking about how when we talk, sometimes we'll say something funny. We'll be like, oh, that was a waste because it wasn't recorded. And I was like, why is my face still pink? And you were just like, have you ever considered that you just have a really pink face?
I don't know why any of this is shocking to you. This is gonna be a low energy podcast for me because I'm just fucking there's pollen in the air. It's that time of year where we got pollen. And I'm all fucked up.
week. You thought you were stronger than me because you didn't get COVID, but then allergy season comes and I'm back on top.
And you're feeling fine, and I'm just like fucking ruined. And I went into the office today where like, it's the third week of office reopening and everyone's still kind of on edge. And I'm in there like fucking sneezing and snorting my way across the office, and everyone's keeping their distance from me. So
are they doing dogs again?
No, we are now a dog unfriendly office.
Oh, nice.
Which I consider a small victory, at least for now. I like dogs. Don't get me wrong. Love dogs. No fucking place in the office for them.
Dude,
Fuck office dogs.
dogs are like penises. I love mine, even though I don't have a dog, but I can tolerate other people's penises like marginally a little bit. I'll pet them once in a while, but I don't want to see them at the office.
Yeah. If people are whipping them out of work, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah.
And if you do see one in a park, make sure it's on a leash.
Yeah.
And not just running free all over the place, running up to other penises and sniffing them and maybe biting them if it's unfriendly or getting bitten by dog owners. Just like fucking infuriate me because they like simultaneously act like their dogs are like precious little children and like equivalent to children in terms of how they should be treated. But then they also don't take any of the responsibility that parents take for their children. Yeah. So it's like, it's the worst of both worlds. And I went with our friend Sean has a rescue dog.
Yeah. Who's crazy, but
like sweetest dog.
Yeah.
And like was like literally like rescued from the streets, and who knows what that fucking dog has seen. I didn't know
she was a rescue.
Yeah, she's been like,
pay closer attention to my friends.
You pay enough attention. She's been through some shit. But it's like we would go for a walk, and Lucy, that's the dog, she's on a leash the whole time. Sean has her trained super well with where like if he sees another dog coming, he will like move her off the path and have her jump up onto something and sit there until the other dog has come by. And all these other fucking dog owners are just like, bah, da, 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 da. And like Sean's trying to like make this conscientious effort to keep his dog away from other dogs, and these other idiot dog owners are just like, hey, my dog is gonna run up to your fucking dog and sniff it and like get in its shit. And Sean would like just be like, my dog's super unfriendly and your dog will get bit if they do that. And like they would grab their dog and be on their way. But like every fucking dog owner was like that. And it's like, don't.
Yeah. Like one time, like I'm like you, I love dogs or whatever. And it's cool if they're on a leash and you like let them smell their hand and maybe pet them or whatever. But I got used to not petting dogs because COVID. Remember when we were scared of COVID being on everything, and we were like, COVID can get on the dog, and then if you pet the dog, you might get COVID. It was like the whole washing your groceries thing, where it was never it was just an overreaction. And I know it's not true, but I'm still like hesitant to pet strange dogs. But anyways, I was like sitting on a bench and someone's like dog is off the leash and they're like, don't worry, it's friendly. And then it fucking jumps on me. And I'm like, look, I love dogs, but I don't want someone else's fucking dog muddy paws in my lap.
Yeah, in my shit. I don't want to have to do laundry because of your fucking dog.
Yeah. These pants had 3 more good wears in them before I had to wash them.
Yeah. Plus, this dog jumped on me. Now my face is extra pink. What am I going to do?
That's probably what happened. I shouldn't have saw that dog before I started the podcast. Or maybe I should have bought a ring light that cost more than $40.
I mean, you're doing fine. You figured it out. But yeah, my favorite office dog story was, I don't know if I told this one on the podcast, but it's like
tell it again. Nobody remembers.
Who's like the CMO. So this is like C-level, like leadership. And we had a team
C-level, like down by the ocean?
Like C, like CEO. You're an idiot.
Sorry for derailing your point on my terrible joke for no reason.
So we had like a department-wide meeting that was like 30 people, and we're all like, this is pre-COVID, so we're all sitting in a room ready to like do this like presentation,
like licking each other's faces and shit.
Yeah, just like spitting in each other's mouths as one did in pre-COVID times. And this office dog just like trots in to the middle of the meeting and just like diarrheas all over the floor in the middle of this 30-person meeting. So I've never seen my boss madder than I saw her that day. And we had to like go and find the dog owner. And this is like 30 people in an entire department. You're wasting their time because your dog came and took a messy shit in the middle of a fucking meeting.
Oh, was it someone in the meeting?
No, it was someone else. It wasn't even someone on the team. It was like their fucking dog was just like roaming the halls and took a monster shit in the middle of our meeting. So that is just one of the reasons I'm opposed to. I love dogs. they have no place in the office.
Did that person get in shit?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, they should have been. Like, I'm not one for at-will employment or people getting shit canned on the spot unless they do something that annoys me.
I mean, the dog definitely should have been fired.
Mhm.
I don't know if unless there's like a staff member coming in and taking a shit in the middle of your meeting.
Although that would almost be worth it. If I was having a meeting and someone came in and diarrheaed on the floor, I would kind of be like, if they go, I go, because that was amazing.
I have so much respect for that. Why did you link the gay dinosaur in TikTok?
Oh, because we talked about it a while ago. You told me about it on a podcast a while ago, and I was like, holy shit, it's the gay dinosaur. I'm going to put it in the comments if we bring it up organically.
Oh, well, brought it up. I was like, what is this? A TikTok? And then I was like, this is the link.
Okay, I'm putting it in the comments right now. If you're listening to this on audio, I will put it in the show notes. And if you're watching this on video, I'm not gonna edit it in on the video because it's very low quality. It won't be bad. It won't be good. But
yeah. Oh, even if you just Google gay dinosaur, it is the first hit that comes up.
Really? It's not like a lot of puss anymore?
It's not.
Remember that joke from when like grade 5?
Yeah.
Or Megasaurass?
Megasaurass is the one I remember. You can't say that anymore, Dale.
No, we can't.
It's problematic.
I wasn't saying the joke. I was just reminiscing on the bad joke people used to tell us and quoting it so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Bro, you look like you're having some troubles with those allergies.
Yeah, they're not.
Fans aren't worth a Claritin, Derek?
What?
Our fans aren't worth a Claritin?
No, I'm like immune. I think I built up like a natural immunity to it over time because I used to fucking pop. Like, I would take like 4 of those fucking things a day, and it just got to the point where it just has like zero effect on me now.
So what is it, like pressure inside your sinuses, or is it just like a cold?
Yeah, it feels like a cold. It's probably COVID. I mean,
about time.
We're all getting it. Everyone's. Speaking of, the fucking some circuit judge in the US today ruled that masks on flights and transportation as mandated by the federal government and the CDC in the United States is unconstitutional.
Nice.
And immediately a bunch of airlines were like, we no longer require masks on domestic flights. So
that's awesome.
It is, but like you see, it's so wild to see, like, because I mean, COVID's still kind of like there or whatever, but there's all these people on like both sides who staked their entire identity on like how they were approaching the COVID pandemic. People who were like, well, I'm gonna be super safe and never leave my house, and people who were like, this whole thing's a fucking scam and I hate the government. And like, nobody's really talking much about COVID anymore, but you see the people in both of those camps who are still like, they're still carrying on with that insane shit. They're just like, I don't know how to be a different person in this, and this has been my entire identity. So they're still carrying on like people fucking United Airlines was like, oh, effective immediately because of this court decision, we will no longer be requiring masks on domestic flights. And there's people immediately commenting, being like, oh, well, I'm canceling my flight because, are you issuing refunds because I'm not taking this unsafe flight with my family? And then there's also people in the comments being like, fuck yeah, I'm going to buy 1,000 United tickets to destinations that I'll never fly to just to support this. Like, guys, come on, find a new identity or find a new cause to latch onto. There's lots of options out there. It doesn't have to be the COVID reaction shit anymore. There's what?
Wait, what day was this?
What, today?
Literally
what about today.
Remember that video that came up of that like Christian group singing on the plane, and everybody like flipped out about how annoying it would be, and it was like restored my faith in humanity. Did you see that?
I heard about it. I haven't
Yeah.
actually seen the video.
Well,
yet.
it was like this guy with an acoustic guitar. I didn't listen to it because I didn't want to. And he was in the aisle of a plane, and they're singing like a Christian song. And it was funny because it showed this guy's face, and he was just like knew he was on camera, but he was like, it was like this. He was like, and everybody like, and then Ilhan Omar, some political woman, I guess.
She's a congresswoman from Minnesota.
Yeah, she was like, how about if me and my family sang on a plane? And then everybody railed against her because they turned it into a racial issue and being like about religion and stuff, about being like, oh, it's just, you're just mad because it was Christians and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, for the most part, every single comment I saw was like, this is so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And mine was like, if I was on that plane, we'd find out what it would be like to have an emergency landing, because I would turn to violence.
Well,
I would be the guy who flipped out on the plane and punched a guy.
What was it, back in December when there were like that influencer flight down to Mexico? When,
oh yeah.
Like, everyone, I would rather be on that flight with those fucking people like vaping and partying and doing cocaine
and crowd surfing on each other.
Yeah. Then I would with one guy with an acoustic guitar. And I've been the guy with an acoustic guitar plenty of times in my life, but like playing on a fucking I don't care whether it's like a Christian sing along or a Muslim sing along, or you're fucking covering Wonderwall or Kumbaya. Yeah. Like, why would you do that on an airplane?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't even want people to talk to me on the airplane. Like, fuck off. It's silent time. This is like, we all grit our teeth and just bear through it. Because nobody's ever been like, good, I get to fly. They're like, cool, I'm going to fly to somewhere. You don't actually like the flight. You like just being somewhere else, don't you?
I like the whole experience.
What? You like?
I like.
Okay, barring it's relaxing to sit in one spot for a couple hours, you like just like being crammed into an airplane.
The ritual of it. No, like you get your like whatever. You bring like a book or you bring your headset. You can listen to shit. I like meeting people on planes and like having conversations with them.
Oh my god! What? This is one of those Derek's an extrovert and Dale's an introvert.
Yeah.
Remember that time you were like, I like just meeting new people, like elevator friends, and I almost puked in my mouth. You're like, I talk to people in the elevator that I don't know. And I'm like,
I feel like most people share your opinion, because I'll get onto an elevator and it'll be a total stranger and I'll be like, hey there, how you doing? And they'll be like, why are you talking to me? Like, just don't.
They're just like, it's like a urinal.
Yeah.
Except for you're allowed to say goodbye. The way I make elevator friends is when they get off, I'm like, have a good day.
I love
and that's our whole interaction.
Like, nobody says anything when you get on and you're totally silent for however many floors. And then they're like, have a good day.
Oh man.
Or like a little head nod.
I'm so quiet in the elevator that Andrea will be talking to me while someone else is down. I'm like, shh, don't talk to me. And she'll be like, what? I'm just having a conversation. I'm like, no, it's rude to have a conversation when someone can't get away from you.
I don't want this person to actually think I'm talking to them accidentally, and then I have to have a conversation with them.
No, I don't want to be on an elevator and then that person gets on with his wife and is like, oh, this guy was talking to his girlfriend when I was on the elevator, so it's okay for me to talk to my wife on the elevator. And then they have a conversation about their life, and I'll just be like, oh. Unless they talk about some crazy shit.
Yeah, well, that would be
I mean, they start talking about conspiracy theories. This is the only time it's okay to talk on an elevator.
Or even like, no, if they're talking about like, imagine like this really conservative, like buttoned up couple gets on the elevator
and they start talking about butt
like,
sex.
Well, or they're talking about like going to like a key party or something that night, or like, that's what they're called, right?
Yeah.
The orgy thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Age yourself with one term, key party.
Does nobody do they just call them?
I think they just call them orgies now.
Orgies?
Well, millennials can't afford cars, or Generation Z's can't have cars. Sure. So they're not key parties. They're just do millennials swap?
Parties.
Do they do wife swaps?
Oh, all the time.
Am I just not going to the right parties?
I don't. Oh, the other thing I want to talk about, I was On that note,
Nice.
you're welcome, audio listeners. Kate and I started watching this fucking show called, it's because we're suckers for like cringy reality TV about relationships.
That's almost as bad as talking on an elevator for me.
It's fucking, there's one called The Ultimatum, and it's all these people who are like, as the name suggests, one partner wants to get married and the other partner doesn't want to get married. So they go on this show and then they split up for like 10 weeks or something
to resolve your differences,
to decide if they want to stay together or like split up. But the thing about this show that gets me, I don't know. I don't actually know how long it is. But the thing that gets me about the show is that all these couples are like fucking 23 or 24 years old and they're all hot. So I'm like, there's no skin in the game. You put like a 35-year-old on that show and they're going to make some like fucking life-altering decisions, because the 35-year-old deciding to leave a relationship and go back out there into the dating field is vastly different. A 23-year-old who's hot, number one, you shouldn't be getting married in the first place. And number two, if your long-term relationship ends when you're hot and 23, you can fucking walk into another one tomorrow.
Yeah,
like,
there's no long-term relationship was at max 3 years, or if you met in high school 4 or 5 or whatever age. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
When is high school?
Yeah, dude, like you were saying, if it's like even older than 35, like if it's you and me and we go on there and we're 41 and 42 and us deciding to break up, let alone just figuring out living arrangements, that's nuts.
Yeah, dude, I would like at this point in my life, for like, I'm trying to think of like what Kate would have to do for me to like be willing to end it and then re-enter the dating pool.
Oh my God.
And I'm like that bar is like so high. I'm like, you like maybe like fuck a dude and then kill him in front of me, like while forcing me to watch. And like, maybe I would end it with you over that, but is it worth getting back out there? I don't know. Yeah,
no, like for me, after Andrea, I'm retired. I'm hanging up my dating shoes. The game is over. I'm just going to be weird uncle with a Hawaiian shirt who shows up at the parties and then drinks 2 beers and tells sad stories. That's going to be me.
That's fine. That's someone's got to be that guy. Why not you? Why not you, Dale?
I mean, I think about what I would do, but it also, for some reason, whenever a guy in our situation thinks about what they would do post relationship, they're always rich. Like dudes are like, yeah, I'll just like do what I want to, discover my hobbies and stuff. It's like, no, you'll go to work and then come home and play Xbox just like you do right now. The only difference is you won't talk to someone and eat meals with someone.
Yeah.
Just be by yourself.
That part
forever.
That Dale and I were talking about at the beginning of the podcast, when it's you time and it's dope, but incredibly lonely. It's just that, but all the time. All the time. I realize now I missed a fucking softball segue when we were talking about office dogs and shitting into the guy who just cleared $500,000 for.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring that up too, but I forgot. Dude, can I just say this guy's like, I know we're at that point in society where we're not allowed to make fun of mental illnesses and stuff, but I feel like the pendulum's swinging the other way. So I'm just going to say it. This guy is a wuss. If he has a panic attack because people threw him a birthday party, like a full-blown panic attack, I mean, maybe you shouldn't have a job where you are around other people, because when people do nice things for you. Oh, and the wild thing was, so he texted his boss and he's like, please don't throw me a party. I have anxiety or whatever. And then he has a panic attack and he has to go sit in his car. And then the next day they pull him into the office and they're like reprimanding him for being rude and stuff to everybody. And then he has another panic attack. And then the next week they fire him. And then he sues them for $450,000 for like for discriminating against his disability. But the weird thing was that the people who fired him said they fired him for physical violence. So it's like wait. What are we missing here? Like, did the workplace lie about the physical violence, or did his panic attack include him struggling and sporadically striking somebody by accident, or did his panic attack trigger his flight or fight and he threw punches?
Well, no. So the way the quote in the article says, they believed he was enraged and possibly about to get violent, which to me suggests he didn't actually get like, there's the possibility they'll get violent.
About to get violent.
There's so much I fucking love about this story. Number one, like, if you've ever worked in an office, you know that the awkward fucking birthday ritual where someone brings in a shitty cake from a fucking grocery store and you all...
I'm the only guy who still likes getting cake at work.
No, like, I appreciate the free cake, but like the whole ritual is like so fucking awkward. And you like, just like, you get together with your coworkers, you eat a piece of cake, you sing happy birthday to the person whose birthday it is. You all stand around, you make awkward conversation holding a fucking paper plate for 10 minutes. And
wait, you don't like
to work?
You don't like work birthday conversations, but you'll talk to strangers in an elevator?
No, I like it, but it's like,
which is weird because I love awkward work birthday conversations at work.
I like it because it's like forced awkward. But the thing I love most about this story is that like this company was so committed to the awkward fucking birthday celebration that they got dinged $500,000 for it. And the other second thing is that like, okay, like the guy, like whatever, you know, anxiety disorders are real. I understand that like this guy probably shouldn't work in a social setting if it's like, maybe he just doesn't like being the center of attention. I know people like that. So like,
what?
I get it. I'm
an introvert and I still love being the center of attention.
You're a very special kind of introvert, Dale.
I know,
but
I break all the rules.
Even like Noah, I remember he still gets like visibly uncomfortable when you sing happy birthday to him on his birthday.
That's happy birthday though. That song sucks and nobody likes it.
For his first couple of years, it was like he would actually cry from awkwardness when you sang happy birthday to him. And that kid 100% has an anxiety disorder. So like, this is probably looking into his future, which is why I probably sympathize with this guy a little bit more. The other thing is that like, when the guy like went to his manager and fucking complained about it and the manager accused him of stealing joy, it's like, dude, here's the thing. I like my job. I like the office. Nobody finds fucking joy at an office, especially not over some fucking awkward ass birthday ritual where you're eating cheap cake on fucking paper plates and making stilted conversation. Like if the guy came to you and said, hey, you shouldn't have, I wish you wouldn't have done this. Like I asked you to not do this. Just be like, yeah, you know, you're right, dude. Sorry. Don't get so defensive that you're like, you're stealing the joy of all these people. And if he hadn't done that, I'm sure the company would be $500,000 richer right now.
Saying you're stealing joy is just as bad as not being able to handle that social situation. Like, I don't know. It's hard because like, I know society, we're not down on tough love and stuff, but this is just one of those situations where if you just grit your teeth and get through it, you'll just be able to live easier. I know anxiety disorders are bad and people have panic attacks and stuff, but this isn't going to be an all day thing. Like this is probably like a half-hour lunch thing. So if you could just like muscle through a half hour and like eat some cake and be like, thanks for wishing me happy birthday, and just be awkward and weird, they'll be like, oh, this was awkward and weird. Maybe we shouldn't. But like, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of bad at this too because I've never had a full-blown panic attack. I mean, there was one time when I smoked weed at a party and I had to leave and I went home and I watched a movie, but
that's
I don't know if that counts. Panic attack. Does that count?
Yeah, I think so. Why wouldn't it? Because you smoked weed?
Yeah. Because it was a drug induced. It was like 2 puffs induced. Back when I was I'm still a super lightweight. I was just gonna pretend I wasn't, but I am. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's just, I feel like maybe it's for me personally when people are like, you're a big deal. This is all for you. I'd be like, yeah. And I would just love it so much. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
me
have a
too.
panic attack.
Yeah.
But if it was like opposite of birthday, like bad day, like everybody surprised
Like a
you.
roast.
Yeah.
We're
Like
gonna roast you now.
they
But not in a
surprised you
fun
in the
way.
lunchroom and they're like, you're bad at your job. Nobody respects you. We might fire you at any moment.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're still working here. And then someone else will be like, yeah, you broke everything and I'm stealing your favorite like office chair and stuff. Then I would have a panic attack.
Yeah, your face is too pink. Your face is too pink to work here. That's what they'd say, Dale.
I'd be like, my face is so pink.
Here, have a piece of
Ah!
fucking roast cake, pink face. Wait.
Dude, the best would be if we found out they just roasted him and I was just like the biggest asshole for saying it.
Maybe that's, yeah, we don't know what their birthday rituals are. I mean, yeah, the guy could have muscled through it, or the guy could have just like, what do you get in more trouble for like toughing it out and having an anxiety attack? Or like, hey, when people say they want to do a birthday thing for you, be like, okay, hold up, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom, and then go have a nap in your car for 45 minutes and let them like celebrate without you and get everyone back to work, and then just show up and act like nothing happened. Boom.
Yeah.
$500,000.
Having a panic attack when he's reprimanded the next day.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not good adult workplace behavior.
Good for him for like even knowing that he was going to have a panic attack, like grabbing his balls and standing up to them. The other standout quote that I liked is when the fucking then the corporation, the employer, tried to like go full snowflake and say that like, oh, well, he didn't violate our physical violence policy. This sets a dangerous precedent that like any type of workplace violence is acceptable. And it's like, okay, so now you're saying that like everything is violence. There is stuff you don't like is violence in the workplace.
So this is all like at first I was like, because I was thinking about my job, but once the job workplace went full snowflake on him, like they're like, he's a thief of joy. How could he do this to us? He's setting up precedent.
This is violence. Yeah.
Like that makes me side with him, because before I was like, dude, you got to muscle through and stuff. But as soon as I've heard you like talk about how they're just like being like full on, he hurt our feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, fucking, I'm trying to see if I can like find a picture of this guy somewhere.
Over under. Oh no, I guess we're not that podcast where we just make fun of how he looks physically.
No, we can't do that.
Although I guess everybody who I'm scared of offending that is our friends probably doesn't listen to this anyway, because we would have offended them numerous times in the 206 episodes so far.
Probably at least 206 times, possibly more. Anyway, I don't know what he looks like. Advice to employers out there: if someone just says like, "Hey, I'd be more comfortable if we didn't do this thing," just don't do it.
I think also I just wanted to point out that this happened in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Which kind of puts a whole new spin on it, because you're like in the South, you just figure, I don't know, that's because it's not racist. I just feel like people in the South are tougher and put up with stuff. Yeah, I guess it's just stereotyping.
Yeah.
Just stereotyping the South.
Just yeah. Love biscuits and gravy, tougher, find joy in office birthday cake. But also consider words violence. Typical Southerner.
Yeah. Do you know what else didn't go as someone had planned?
Oh, Dale, what?
Tucker Carlson's new trailer for his.
Let's go.
I saw this.
I haven't seen the trailer yet.
Oh my God, dude, you got to watch the trailer, because, okay, anybody who hasn't seen this trailer, here, I'll put the link right in the comment section right now. Go watch it.
Like the end of Man.
It's the end of Man. So he's like, it's a video and it's like showing. Oh wait, I think I linked the wrong one. Sorry, hold on. Oh yeah, I linked the math books one.
All right.
Just ignore that first one I
Okay, hold on.
linked.
I'm watching it.
Okay,
I'm watching it. You get to see my live reaction.
nice.
What the fuck? First 10 seconds, I'm like, what the fuck is happening here?
Oh, it won't post. Oh, I guess it's. Oh wait, it posted twice.
Dude, did you watch The Righteous Gemstones?
I started watching it, but I kind of punched out because it was just like I have this thing where I can handle shows about people being bad people if bad stuff happens to them and they kind of redeem themselves or whatever. Because there's a lot of shows where the basic character portrayal, like Curb Your Enthusiasm or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, is people behaving badly. But I can only watch those shows when bad stuff happens to them because they're behaving badly. And Righteous Gemstones, I just felt like they're being bad people, but they weren't really having to pay for their sins.
Yeah.
Type of deal.
They never really do.
Yeah. So I don't like that type of thing when they get away with it, because it just makes me feel like the world is unjust.
Anyway, there's a whole storyline in there about like the son Calvin has his like God Squad, and it's all like very like thinly veiled homoerotic jokes, and it's all these dudes that get together and like get shirtless and like pump iron for Jesus together. And that's basically what this entire video reminds me of.
Yeah.
Because like in the first 5 seconds, it's jump cut of a bunch of dudes doing push-ups, guy shooting a gun at like a bottle of oil exploding, and then a guy milking a cow, and then a guy flipping sausages on a grill, and then two dudes wrestling. And it just somehow, and I'm not saying this in a way that is derogatory to gay people who I respect and love very much. This is like, this is a super gay video.
Okay, do you want me to? George Takei, his quote on the video is, "This is so gay." And then there's a guy named Mark Harris, and this is what he said: "I am sitting here next to my gay husband, living my gay life, reading a gay novel as research for my new gay book. And yet I am not and will never be as gay as whatever is haunting Tucker Carlson's fantasies." That's the best quote.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's very. Do you think it was accidental how homoerotic it was? Because this, like, when stuff is like this blatantly homoerotic, like it shows a guy suntanning his junk outside and he's fully naked and just his crotch is covered.
It looks like he's like standing up against like a electric car charging station or something. With
that's like him suntanning his nuts or something.
His dick. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like they do all this stuff and it's like, this is so homoerotic. I feel like the people who made the video did it on purpose as like a fuck you to my boss.
Yeah,
like
this has got to be like a very intentional troll of Tucker Carlson. But like Tucker Carlson himself, and probably like many other people who work for him, like signed off on this and thought it was a good, and maybe the whole thing was just like, oh, let's get a bunch of people talking about how gay Tucker is, or like exposing themselves as homophobes by saying, which like another thing I would like to discuss is how Tucker fucking Carlson, who was like the little bow-tied dork on that Crossfire show, like baby faced, fuck, he had a pinker face than Dale DeRuiter. I'm just gonna say it. And he was like, Tucker Carlson was never a guy anyone would ever be like, oh, this guy's the authority on masculinity. And I still don't think anyone would say that. So how he like became this conservative figure where like people are like, oh yeah, when I want to learn about masculinity, fucking Tucker Carlson, that's the guy I'm gonna turn to. I don't know how or when that happened or why. or why anyone would listen to what he has to say about it.
And it's funny because it's obvious, beside it being homoerotic, it's obviously someone who doesn't do manly stuff being like, this is what men do. Well, they chop logs with their shirt off all the time and they get all sweaty and they don't care because they're men. Meat.
They shoot bottles full of vegetable oil. It's like, yeah. It's like, this is like what would happen if you asked a gay simulation what being a man was. It's just like AI came up with all these things.
He's just like, men do push-ups, right? Because I've seen that on TV and I've never done push-ups myself, but I'm pretty sure manly men do push-ups. Like, he just thinks it would be so funny to like see inside his head and what he thinks manly men do. And it's just like doing push-ups in a forest or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's good. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
That kind of, are we done with that? That kind of just abruptly ended.
It's good.
You know what else is super manly?
Are you? I hope you're segueing to the thing I think you're going to segue to, and not the thing you could possibly segue to.
Okay. You know what else is super manly?
What?
Derek? Jerking off so hard you tear your lungs.
Yeah, that's that is what Tucker Carlson should have put in his fucking video, because okay. Question for you.
Yes.
TMI time for our listeners. If you want to tune out or mute
I
us
love TMI time.
What is the
TMI.
worst masturbation injury you've ever had? You've ever given yourself?
I ripped off a mole off the tip of my penis and it shot blood everywhere. That's the worst. Were you not ready for that TMI?
I wasn't expecting that.
I've never told anybody that before in my life.
And now you just told everybody.
I'm just glad it's out in the world now and I don't have to hold that inside my shame chamber anymore.
Yeah. I mean, mine, like, I've made my dick bleed before, but that's just from like excessive and chafing, right? Like, there's never been like,
I just want to say it freaked me the fuck out. Like, I wasn't like, oh, now my dick's bleeding. I was like, oh my God, my dick's broken. Oh shit. Like that. Every guy in some time, they're like, I broke my dick. Oh fuck. Like, would they chafe it too much or whatever? And then like 10 minutes later, they're like, seems all right.
I should go again.
That seems good. I'm not dead, so it's obviously fine.
Still, like, a piece of your dick flying off would be something.
Yeah. And I really lucked out because it's not one of those horror stories you get busted with. It's just like something that happened. And I was just like, whoop. And nobody, if I wouldn't have told you guys now, nobody would ever know. But
you would have never known.
I'm fucking 42. I don't care. Cancel me.
So do you want to describe
what was your TMI?
Oh, mine was just like probably too much. Like, I masturbated so much that my dick chafed to the point of like bleeding. Like, it was like raw, like just like,
yeah,
like a raw steak with like blood pooling on the surface. And that's only happened like, and I'm ashamed to admit that's happened like that wasn't just a one-time thing. That has probably happened at various stages throughout my life. None recently, however. But yeah, dick blood was involved. But I never collapsed a lung, which is a good thing.
And the worst part about dick blood is when you have an erection, there's so much pressure behind it that it seems like a nightmare, like a massacre.
Never stops spurting.
Okay, let's stop talking about our dick blood and talk about this guy hurting himself masturbating and focus on how he's dumb and we're fine.
Okay.
So this guy in Switzerland who's 20, I'm reading what happened and it was like,
oh yeah,
what happened? Yeah, he was just like masturbating and then his like lung collapsed.
Yeah, he
it's almost like a perforated lung because they're saying what happened was Oh, do you want me to try read this big word?
The one that starts with a PN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pneumomediastinum.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Nice.
I think.
So that was good enough. I got it in one try. That's when the cavity that's not your lungs, that's in your chest. It's basically like on the shows, like on House or whatever, when the guy's like chest is all fucked up and then they slice it and then you hear air escaping and then he like can breathe again. That's what happened was like I guess the lining in his lung ripped because I can't remember what was it because he had like asthma or something.
Did he?
I
Pre-existing
think.
condition?
Okay, wait. It can spawn. So this is what they're talking about. Pneumomediastinum is it can spontaneously arise when a sudden increase in pressure within the chest cavity causes a tear in certain lung membranes, allowing air to leak out.
So basically, air was leaking through his lungs into his chest cavity.
Yeah. So the triggers could include acute asthma attack, strenuous exercise, or violent vomiting, or well, I guess this jerking off would count as strenuous exercise.
Well, how strenuous? Man only had a history of mild asthma and denied any other known risk factors. So near as doctors could tell, his masturbation had to be the culprit. They did find a few reports of this injury, likely brought on by sex. But this is the first masturbatory. I gotta go blow my nose really quick here.
Okay.
I'm falling apart. Keep talking.
I'm just gonna talk about the one time that should I save this story for you? I was gonna talk about the time I got hooked up to an EKG because of violent vomiting. Did you hear that?
You can start it. Just go. Just do it.
So in my late 20s, I was having chest pains and I thought I might be having a heart attack because I don't know, like I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm just more where like if something's wrong, I want it fucking dealt with as soon as possible. So it's like I'm not one of those guys who's going to be like, oh, I'm going to the hospital when nothing's wrong. But I'm also not one of those guys who's like, yeah, I had cancer for 3 years, but I didn't know what was up. I'm like one of those guys where it's like, if something's wrong, I go directly to the hospital. I'm like, take a look at the shit. Is there anything wrong with me? So what happened was I was having these chest pains and I was like, I might be having a heart attack. I didn't think I was having a heart attack because I was so young. I was like, but I better make sure because they say chest pains is a thing. So I go to emergency and they hook me up to the EKG machine and they're like, everything looks okay. And I'm like, oh, okay. What do you think it might be? And they're like, you had, and I was like, because I had like shooting chest pains. And I was like, it felt like little lightning bolts like around my heart or whatever. And then the doctor was like, were you drinking recently? And I was like, well, yeah, it was like my birthday 2 days ago. And they're like, did you get really drunk on your birthday? And I was like, yeah, I did. And he's like, and did you puke a lot? And I was like, well, not then, but the next day I puked a lot. And they're like, well, you pulled a muscle behind your heart, most likely. And that's what the shooting pain is from. Yeah. From throwing up. And I think he knew it because like I had like the pop blood vessels in my eyes or my eyelids. Like I had little like what looked like tiny little herpes in dots all along here because I was so hungover the next day that I didn't have any liquid in me. So when I went to barf, like nothing came out. It was just like, and then it was like I popped some blood vessels in my eyes and apparently stretched or tore a muscle behind my heart that made it feel like I was having a heart attack.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, man.
Good for you.
That's why I sure can't party like that no more.
No, that's like kind of makes me thankful we don't party like that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of not partying like that, we're going to take next week off because we're going to Derek's little brother's bachelor party.
And I'm going to see Dale be so hungover he's ripping muscles in his heart.
No. I don't drink like that anymore because I have gout / 3-day hangover. So I was actually debating whether I was going to have any drinks at all. Just be like, go sober totally or not.
Yeah, be my sober bro.
Yeah, fine. Because I would only have one or two, so I'll just crush like 12 fake beers.
Yeah.
But funny thing was, like Andrea, like she's like, okay, you're going to this bachelor party. There's not going to be like strippers or anything there, is there? I was like, oh no.
Hey,
No,
Qualicum Beach.
Yeah, and the best part was I was like, we're going to Qualicum Beach to an Airbnb. And the planning in the chat for the bachelor party is on Friday night,
Oh, yeah.
we're going to be making pasta from scratch.
Saturday night, we're going to a German schnitzel house. This is like the least. This is like the tamest bachelor party. Jared just is like stoked to hang out with the bros and go like sit in a sauna with like a bunch of dudes.
I would way rather have pasta from scratch than hang out with strippers, because once I stopped partying as hard as I did, hanging out with strippers lost its luster, because it's they're a lot louder when you're sober and it's not as much fun.
Yeah, have you been to a strip club sober? It's depressing, man. It's
yeah,
and expensive.
It's half depressing, half annoying, because you're like, wow, this sucks. What's going on? Why are these girls here? And then you think about it, you're like, oh fuck, they're making that much money? That sucks. Wish I could just be a stripper instead of going to work tomorrow.
Yeah, why didn't I learn how to dance? And then like also like a lot you look at the way like a lot of dudes behave in strip clubs, you're just like a lot of them are like fine and respect the rules or whatever, but there's a lot of like really gross, creepy guys who go to those things.
Yeah, there's guys where you're like, oh, like they hold in all their asshole creepiness and then it just like spills out at the stripper
at the strip club. And then act like they're entitled to do that because they're paying for the service, which is not true. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty tame,
which I'm fine with.
Bachelor party.
I'm pumped.
I'm bringing my Nintendo Switch. Keenan's bringing his Nintendo Switch. We're going to bring some Nintendo Switches.
Should I bring some board games?
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro. Let's board game it.
Teach everybody how to play Farkle.
Yeah. Bring some board
games, some stiff boards. Yeah,
some hard, some
Qualicum stripper board games.
Wait, I'm curious, so I'm just gonna Google if this is a thing or not.
I know,
cannot imagine it is.
Now that we're talking about it, I'm like, what kind of, like, we might have to go to Parksville to get a stripper. Oh, another thing, I totally forgot about this.
What?
I was like, when Andrea was having this conversation, I was like, Andrea, the only titties we're going to see at this bachelor party is if we go to the Goats on the Roof Cafe and go to that weird, creepy wood shop in the back where some guy just carved a whole bunch of naked ladies and is selling them like it's a normal thing to do.
Yep.
Have you been in there? There's like these girls in these weird sexual poses and they're like carved out of wood and stuff. And you're like, who would buy this bench and just put it in their house? Because it's like $800. So it's not like you just buy this naked lady carved bench and like put it somewhere nowhere nobody's going to see it. Cause it's like $800. So you got to like show off your art
Make
piece.
sure you're showing it off. Yeah.
And then your friends come over and like pretend it's okay to have a perverted furniture and be like, yeah, that's very interesting. Where did you say you got this carved again?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, it's weird. Do you jerk off to your chair?
We might have options.
Jerk off in your chair to your chair? I mean, that's kind of skipping a step. Okay. How's this? What would you rather your friends catch you having? The Lars toilet from a couple episodes ago or naked boobie sexy lady carved chair?
Wait, what was the first one?
The Lars from Metallica toilet from a couple episodes ago. Which one of those would be more awkward having your friends come in and see? Maybe not your friends.
Lars toilet for sure.
Maybe
just random guests. Anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because our friends, they would just think it's hilarious to be like, this thing is so ugly. Why do you have this?
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have to be like normal people see it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, what do you look at? Would you find anything?
I'm looking at Vancouver Island strippers.
So
As video.
this is so much better than regular Dale and Derek do Google on the podcast. It's Derek like squinting like he's a boomer. You look like a boomer watching porn.
That's
just like,
basically what I'm doing
"What?
right now.
What are they doing to each other in there?
Wait, where's Campbell River?
I think that's pretty far away. That's up north.
Uh,
I don't think you want to go like too remote.
wait, Campbell River.
Welcome to Geography Factory, where we find out where cities are on the island.
What the fuck? That's like, oh, people live up there?
How much would a job have to pay you to live in Campbell River?
We,
Oh yeah, I guess we're done talking about this guy ripping his lung masturbating, eh?
I mean, it looks nice enough ish.
What? To rip your lung masturbating?
No, Campbell River, but like, imagine like, because like, number one, you're like in this outpost, and then you're also on the island. So if you ever want to get to like a city, like an actual city, or get to like an airport to like fly to another country, which like whatever, like you would have
another
that's like
country. Fucking jet boy over here.
that's a fucking 6 hour. That's like a fucking 6 hour drive. Probably.
Do you know how long it's been on since I've been on a plane?
At least 2 years, 3 years.
4, I think.
Really?
3 or 4 years since I've been on a plane. Because I had a streak going and then COVID hit. So it just kind of arbitrarily inflated my streak. And I was going to break it for Jared's wedding, but we're driving now instead. I haven't flown since Greta Thunberg told me not to.
This girl is not 21 years old.
Okay. We're stalling out. So let's do one more story and then call it. How's that?
Oh, can I send this to you privately? So that
Send it to me privately. Don't put it in the chat.
All right, what do we got?
Vanessa Hudgens. Guess what she claims she can do?
Well, I already saw it in the thing, so I'm
Oh.
not gonna blow it.
Okay. So Vanessa Hudgens, the star of High School Musical, believes she talks to ghosts, which makes her twice as hot in my eyes. Because that's like a de facto threesome.
There's what? No, she's not fucking. It's not like that scene in Ghostbusters with Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, but no, you'll be having sex with Vanessa Hudgens and then there'll be ghosts there. Because if she talks to ghosts, she could be like, hey, watch Dale have sex with me. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm cool with that. That's like weird ghost cucking thing. I don't know if that counts.
Ghost cucking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't count because that would be reverse. Ghost cucking would be like if a ghost made me watch the ghost fuck Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah.
So I'd be like ghost voyeurism.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the big selling point is Vanessa Hudgens would be there.
Yeah.
The ghosts are just kind of like the spice. They're like the whipped cream on top of the cupcake, whereas Vanessa Hudgens is still the cupcake.
Yeah. Wait, did she say what the ghosts talked to her about?
Oh, gross.
What?
She was on she was talking to Kelly Clarkson. Does Kelly Clarkson have a show or something?
I'm assuming.
I feel like everybody has a show right now.
I'm assuming she does.
They all fucking bitter flavor and got podcasts where they actually interview famous people.
Yeah,
but
they too are famous.
Yeah. Did you ever hear the Adam Carolla quote on how to have a successful podcast?
No, what?
Be really famous before you start your podcast.
Yeah, I could see that helping.
Okay, here's what she said. I've accepted the fact that I see things and I hear things. The unknown is scary, but I recently was like, no, this is a gift and something that I have the ability to do. So I'm going to lean into it. I remember getting ready for school when I was 8 years old, and there was like, those ducks that you pull the string. It's a toy. There was one of those on the dining room table, and I started walking, and it just started going alongside me. That is a weak ass, boring ass ghost story.
That is why she believes she can talk to ghosts.
Yeah. And then she said, North Wilmington is one of the oldest, most haunted places in North America. I was chasing around my ghost for like 10 minutes solid, and then it got away too freaky, and I just left. I feel like the ghost might have lost a husband at war, and she's waiting for her man to come back to her. It was definitely a female spirit, I could tell.
That didn't she say she could talk to ghosts?
Okay, that took a wild turn, and this article has no bridge in between that. It's just like, she's like, yeah, those little stuffed toys, ducks? One walked beside me, and then it's like smash cut. I'm chasing this fucking widow ghost around in Wilmington. This is some bad narrative.
Yeah, I don't believe any of this shit. You know what? It's so weird how many fucking celebrities and famous people legitimately like hire mediums and shit now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's no nice way to say this. A lot of people who are actors, they're good at acting because they don't have too much of a personality that they could just adopt a new personality. Like, I feel like Tom Cruise is just kind of like a blank slate. So he can easily turn into a character that he's acting because he could just like invite that character in and overwrite whatever playing character's in there.
Yeah.
So when people are like that, they're also easily convinced of stuff like what mediums would say. But sometimes I like to just freak myself out and be like, what if they know the truth? What if it's all true? What if there are ghosts? What if Vanessa Hudgens did chase around a ghost on while she was shooting Journey to the Mysterious Island
in the form of a stuffed duck or whatever?
What the fuck is Journey 2?
Journey 2?
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
What is Journey?
Let alone
1?
Journey.
What is Journey 1?
I don't know. Here, I'm going to quickly Google this because that's what we do on this podcast. We Google stuff. I bet people, this is one of those things. Oh, the Mysterious Island. 2012. Oh, shit. The fucking rocks in it. I've seen this.
Wait, what?
Oh, it's the sequel to Journey to the Center of the Earth. It's very confusing. Why wouldn't it be called Journey to the Center of the Earth 2? Was the first one called Journey, semicolon, or Journey, colon, the center of the earth?
The center of the, I don't know. It's possible.
Let me see. Oh, Journey to the Center of the Earth.
It's possible.
No, it's just called Journey to the Center of the Earth. So that came out in 2008. And then 4 years later, they're like, we're going to do the most confusing thing ever. We're just going to call it Journey 2, colon, the Mysterious Island. Oh, I see what they did there. Because it's like Journey to the Center of the Earth. Journey to the Mysterious Island.
Journey 2,
colon, the Mysterious Island.
Fucking mind blown.
Right?
Whoa.
Was this old enough that The Rock still had hair? Nope, he was bald already in 2012.
Wait, how long? Oh, 2012. That's
when Journey 2 came out. That's 10 years ago, Derek. That was a decade ago. A whole decade. So your dad's sneezing now. Are you done?
I'm packing. I packed it in like 5 minutes ago. I started going down this Vancouver Island escort rabbit hole, And then and now the allergies are just washing over me.
That's God telling you as a married man, you shouldn't be looking at that shit.
They're
Not
not
because
for
it's
me.
wrong or anything, but
They're not for
because
me.
Okay.
It's not for me.
Okay. Vanessa Hudgens, if you ever need anybody to go look at ghosts with you, I'm your boy.
Damn.
Call me up.
Damn.
I want to see a ghost. I've never seen a ghost. What?
I'm just going to be spamming you with these pictures all night.
What are you sending it to?
What?
Facebook chat?
Well, I sent one to your Facebook chat, but this one's coming in hot to your phone.
Oh shit, text message pictures. Sorry, I just saw. All right. If anybody else wants to see how funny it is, just do what Derek did. We'll fucking blow up your computer by Googling strippers on Vancouver
Your
Island.
work computer, no less. Hey, Internet, thanks for tuning in to episode 206 of Outrage Factory. I've been your co-host, Derek Boland. You can follow me on Twitter at Herder.
I'm your other co-host, Dale DeRuiter. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at SuperDaleBot. You can follow the podcast Twitter at Outragefactorypod.
Like us on Facebook.
Yeah, like us on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. You could send us an email at outragefactory. No, it's not that. It's outragefactpod@gmail.com. And if you need to know these links for these strippers on Vancouver Island, I will forward them to you.
Dale will 100% forward them to you. If you like the podcast, please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. That does help spread the word about us. If you really like the podcast, you can tell your friends about us or recommend us to people. And if you really, really, really,
really
like the podcast, there will someday be a time where you can give us money on Patreon, but I still have not set that up. So today is not that day.
You could just fucking e-transfer us money to e-transfer us money to that Gmail account.
We
there
promise
you go.
It will not go directly into the bachelor party dancer fund.
It'll go into buying a keg of non-alcoholic beer.
So once again, we will be taking off next week for a brief hiatus, but we will be back the week following to catch everyone up on the last 2 weeks of internet outrage.
And we will not have any war stories or good stories because we will have just been making past and playing board games, which to me is awesome.
Yeah,
it's
perfect party. Staying sober, playing board
doesn't
games.
make really good stories when
Hanging
you're like, dude, we were playing this board game and it was totally awesome. Dude, for my bachelor party, if it ever happens, let's just have a 2-day D&D sesh.
That's it.
2 full days straight D&D.
Yeah, fucking easy. I'll plan that one, bro.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Until next week.
Stay angry.